Imagine you are running the most complex simulation in the entire world. It requires no electricity, no microchips, and no massive server farms. It runs entirely on the processing power of the human imagination. Tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons are essentially intricate operating systems of collaborative storytelling governed by strict mathematical rules and probability. But there is a massive catastrophic glitch in how millions of people run this simulation every single day. The glitch occurs when the architect of the world, the Dungeon Master, treats intelligent breathing creatures like mindless lines of video game code waiting to be slaughtered. Welcome to another episode of History Glitch, where we usually examine the catastrophic failures of steel and software. Today we are looking at a failure of imagination, a glitch in the simulation of fantasy worlds. Based on the brilliant analytical book, The Monsters Know What They Are Doing by Keith Ammann, we are going to dissect the evolutionary biology and military tactics of fantasy creatures. We are going to prove that if a monster just runs straight into the swords of the heroes, the system has failed. To understand this glitch, you must first accept a fundamental biological truth: every living creature wants to survive. In a fantasy ecosystem, a monster's statistical block is not just a list of numbers for combat. It is a story of its evolutionary survival. Let us start with the Goblin. In a poorly run simulation, a goblin is treated as a weak idiot that charges into an open field to be easily killed. But if you look at the raw data, the mechanical stats of a goblin, a completely different, terrifying reality emerges. Goblins have dark vision, high dexterity, and a unique ability to disengage and hide as a bonus action. Why would nature give them these specific traits? Because a goblin is a prey animal. It is small, physically weak, and cowardly. A biologically accurate goblin would never fight fair in broad daylight. That is a tactical glitch. A true goblin engages in asymmetrical guerrilla warfare. They will hide in the pitch-black shadows of a cave system, wait for the heavily armored heroes to walk past a choke point, and then strike from the darkness with poisoned arrows. The second they fire, they will use their evolutionary speed to disappear back into the crevices where large humans cannot follow. They will set traps, use hit-and-run tactics, and wear their enemies down through exhaustion and paranoia. If the heroes manage to corner a goblin, it will immediately surrender or run away because survival is its only directive. Now let us completely shift the parameters and look at a creature of pure aggressive physical superiority, the orc. An orc has high strength, high constitution, and an aggressive trait that allows it to physically close the distance to an enemy with terrifying speed. Orcs are not cowardly prey, they are apex predators of the battlefield. But the glitch here is assuming they are mindless berserkers. Orcs understand overwhelming force. A tactically accurate orc warband will not spread out to fight one-on-one. They will identify the weakest-looking target, usually the spellcaster in robes, and use their aggressive speed to swarm that individual, crushing the biggest threat before the magic user can even react. They use psychological warfare, intimidation, and brutal efficiency. But what happens when the simulation involves something that is technically no longer alive? Consider the mindless undead like zombies and skeletons. This is where the Dungeon Master must act like a computer programmer. A zombie has zero intelligence. It has no instinct for self-preservation. It is a biological machine running a corrupted script. A zombie will walk directly into a blazing fire if its target is on the other side. It will not try to dodge. It will not try to flank. It will just relentlessly move forward. Skeletons, however, are slightly different. They possess ranged weapons and a minor sense of tactical programming left over from their previous lives. They will stand in a line and fire arrows uniformly, completely ignoring their own safety. Running undead correctly means running them as an inevitable, overwhelming force of attrition that does not care about casualties. But the ultimate glitch, the most terrifying failure of tactical simulation, happens when running hyper-intelligent apex predators. Let us look at the Mind Flayer, an alien entity with an intelligence score far higher than an average human. A Mind Flayer is a creature of psychological horror that feeds on brains. It knows exactly what the heroes are capable of. It will never engage in a fair physical fight. It will use mind control to turn the heroes against each other. It will target the physically strong, but mentally weak warrior and dominate their mind, forcing them to slaughter their own friends. The Mind Flayer will use levitation to stay out of reach, attacking the party's sanity and mental saving throws from the shadows. And finally, we must discuss the absolute pinnacle of fantasy ecosystems, the dragon. A dragon is a flying armored tank equipped with a biological weapon of mass destruction. In millions of games, a dragon lands on the ground and bites the heavily armored knight in a melee fight. This is the greatest glitch of all. Why would a creature with massive wings and a devastating breath weapon ever put itself in the range of a metal sword? A biologically and tactically accurate dragon will use total aerial superiority. It will fly high above the battlefield, out of range of arrows, breathing fire down upon the heroes, and then flying away to wait for its biological weapon to recharge. It will strafe the battlefield, reducing the heroes to ash without ever touching the dirt. The only reason a dragon would ever land is if its extreme narcissism and arrogance overrode its tactical brilliance, or if it was protecting its eggs. Keith Ammann's analysis proves that a fantasy world only feels real when its inhabitants act like they actually live there. When monsters use their biological advantages, their environments, and their intelligence, the simulation achieves perfect, terrifying realism. The true history glitch of role-playing games is laziness. It is the failure to realize that the monsters absolutely know what they are doing, and if they are played correctly, the heroes should be absolutely terrified.